Come down here a little bit, lads, further.
Oh, look, it's like 244. High up.
That's right. Like two pools and two different levels.
There's a slide going down there.
I'm one surprised there was the sea down
What did you say? Hi.
That's an interesting picture. It's got you and a reflection of me and stuff behind me. Where's the kangaroo?
The eyes.
It does keep moving. Oh, what was that?
Step guys, the glass breaks the
So it isn't exactly. Okay, maybe she waits for a little bit more.
Trains into which station? Where is that? It could be, yeah.
Victoria Station.
Yeah, it's like all the weights on one side. You never put on your pants.
Does anyone know what that black building is? This is Northeast. St. Paul's is up here. This RE headquarters.
It's Swiss.
Power London. It's down there. Yeah. He said that they call discrimination. Hey! We're at the top. An airplane
No, I'm not making I think they thought it was, but it wasn't.
Oh my.
They should have that was like, you have nothing.
I don't know.
There might be that vintage trees down there.
Yeah, that's what they were looking at, but I told them. Is that the house right there? Yes. Okay, I thought so.
I'm gonna get a picture of the shadow. Yeah, I think that thing over there might be. Wait a minute. Who wants a picture of the shadow?
What's that? Look at the big circular.
The shadow. The thing. It looks pretty cool.
I don't know what it is. Getting it on film.
Yours is loud. I didn't mean to say loud. Yeah. The last one was for 10 minutes. Oh, this is the back. It's not going to be that. So, this is actually good. I passed it.
My thing is I can take a white statue.
That would probably do. I'm gonna excuse you. Sorry, I'm gonna get my hair. That was Buckingham Palace.
Again.
No. No, because there's the gold statue on top of the tower. Buckingham Palace is probably a lot further.
We drove past it.
Oh, we drove past. Oh, I was thinking of the Washington.
Oh, no. I took
Maybe
it out. It's a lot.
Oh, look, it's a little sleek car track. Oh my goodness. And the,
Oh, that's what we said.
Spongy people.
Yep. In front of that old building.
Sorry, Dad.
Cheers now. I'm sorry.
I'm terribly sorry. We went into that before. Wait, isn't that where you went to? So we gotta probably. Where's that?
Oh, that might be the roof of it. Because it did say that the racetrack thing was upstairs.
Now. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll get at least a shot. Yeah. It has it that gets on the side of the wall of the bridge. They have stuff like that on bridges on campus. That's cool.
You say they do or they should?
They do. But it's more like.
Years to build, and it was completed in 1710 under the reign of Queen Anne, and what was a statue of Queen Anne outside of it. Many services have taken place at St Paul's. You had the Jubilee of Queen Victoria, the funerals of Wellington and Nelson, and if you visit you can see the tombs of Wellington and Nelson, and you can see the tomb of the architect himself, Christopher Wren was buried in St Paul's. You've got a basic looking tomb, and it says on it, read if you seek a monument, look around. I say look up, Marsha.
I don't want to kill us running around like crazy, and if you're tired and
if you visit St Paul's, you can climb to the top of the dome as well. 530 steps. The very top part is called the Golden Gallery, and a bit below is called the Whispering Gallery. You stand on one side and ask your friends to stand on the other. When we said something, the sound normally travels all the way around. And the Dome of St Paul's is the second largest unsupported dome in the world, and the largest is St Peter's in Rome. We're very much the influence for this one.
Other Starbucks.
Also here in 1981 that Charles and Diana were married. Most of the royals are married in Westminster Abbey because that's known as the Royal Church, but St Paul's is known as the People's Church. Diana wanted to be known as a People's Princess. There's also longer processional routes to St Paul's, which that's handy. Very good television. I've just got a sort of information bit which you can still go in, but it's close to visiting now. Here's our stop for St Paul's. There's nobody coming down, looks legit. Five, 6. And if you look back from here, you get quite a good view of the dome of St Paul's. Yeah, so it'll be cleaned by the end of next year, we hope, just in time for the 300th anniversary district. So that we'll start to see some of the newest buildings alongside some of the oldest. And just to get past this set of traffic lights, we'll see the remains of a Roman inn. And I think you've got a right mixture of buildings here. You can see architecture through the ages. The oldest buildings date from the early 1700s, and these are like your Christopher Wren churches. Most of the stuff before that would have been destroyed in the Great Fire of London. Also, this part of London was quite heavily bombed during the Blitz. So after the Second World War, they put all these kind of cheap office blocks up. And many of these office blocks are being ripped down now to make way for lovely new glass buildings, to try and lure people into the city of London. Many people don't want to work here now, or don't want to buy property here because it's too expensive. But coming up on the right, you'll see the remains of a Roman temple, what used to be the Temple of Mithras, built around about the 2nd century AD to Mithras, which was a Persian sun god. That was discovered in the 50s. This with the columns is the Royal Exchange, so the first indoor market was held in London. It was the idea of Thomas Gresham. Also, it's been an indoor trading centre for merchants and businessmen. Got a few shops in there nowadays where you buy things like Tiffany jewellery. And the building on the left with the tall walls is the Bank of England, the famous walls by Sir John Soane. The walls date from the 1790s. Well, the bank was built in the 1920s, and parts of it had to be rebuilt after the war. As we head along this next road, if you look at these little alleyways, just give you an idea of how small the streets used to be back in Tudor times. So we've still got the medieval street plan. After the Great Fire of London, they don't want to rebuild to a new plan, just for practical reasons. People need to get in a rhyme. Oranges and lemons. So the bells are simple. Because back when London used to be a port, there used to be lots of walls and warehouses around here. There would have been one near here where they used to unload citrus fruits. So people just called it the Oranges and Lemons Church. They have quite a few concerts at this church, sort of free organ recitals and stuff like that in the afternoons. I've got a lot of the churches around here who do that. You can just walk in. And there are many, many of them. And the 8 people who died in the fire. Now we're coming up to London Bridge. London Bridge is about the 12th London Bridge to stand on this site. But anyone like to get off this stop here? This one is for the monument. Yeah, anyone? No. Heading over very shortly. And on that ship on the left is HMS Belfast, the last remaining Second World War cruiser, which fired the opening shots of the D-Day landings. It's now a museum. Naval history, so you can go on board. And we're going to run parallel to the river in a minute. Many of the buildings along the banks here though used to be warehouses.
What's that?
And the stretch of water from this bridge over to Tower Bridge used to be called the Pool of London. Back when London was a port, it's where your cargo ships would have been. Now you imagine then the water was all sort of, the river had been crowded here with the ships. They said you could walk from one side of the river to the other. It's by hopping along the decks. So there will be lots of thieves. There's nobody going out. So many of these buildings here were warehouses. That one was a port, but as I said, you got all shops and things now. Also, a lot of the old warehouses are being converted into apartments. Lots of new apartments are being built along the river. It's quite expensive to live along the river, and so naturally most places along the south bank have gone quite upmarket, or quite industrial at one time, and now quite yuppie flyover, you might say. So there's quite a lot of and this bit here is called More London. Been developed over the last 3 years. More shops, more offices. New Hilton Hotel, yet to be open. And the building's nicknamed the Gherkin. It looks a bit like a gherkin or a pickle. Both of these designed by Sir Norman Foster. Designed to be energy efficient. So the City Hall on this side and the Gherkin on the other side. Now Tower Bridge is London's only bascule bridge. Bascule is a French word, means seesaw. And the bridge opens and closes to allow tall ships to pass through. The bridge first opened in 1894, back when London was thriving as a port. And so you had the area to left of us, which they called the Pool of London. And over on the right of the bridge, you've got Docklands and Canary Wharf that way. So this is the furthest bridge east of London. It would be like a huge gateway into the city. In its heyday, it was opening about 50 times per day. Nowadays, about 200 times a year. Maybe in the summer when the people in their private vessels and things go up and down the river. Party boats. The engineering was by John Wolfe Barry. Although back in the 1800s, it always be powered by the river, so it used to be hydraulics. Nowadays, it's all powered by electricity. And the bridge itself, all the pretty bits were designed by Horace Jones. Now Jones designed it in this Gothic style, and he had it made out of Cornish granite, so that it would harmonise with the Tower of London, which is coming up on the other side of the river. So the walkways above us, you can hire those for weddings, parties, get some quite good sunsets from here. There's only been one incident of the bridge opening whilst there's been a vehicle on it, and that was in the 50s, and a bus just about made it over to the other side before the bridge opened up even further. There's no photographs of this though, only artist's impressions. So if you've seen any pictures of it, they're all fake. But yeah, it did actually happen. Oh, well, here's the Tower of London, London's only remaining castle. Established by William the Conqueror in 1071. William the Conqueror came over from France in 1066. He took the throne from our Saxon King Harold at the Battle of Hastings and wanted to show off about this. So William the Conqueror built that part in the middle, which is called the White Tower. It's been added to by different monarchs over the years. If you've got the lawn around the edge, that's where the moats used to run. So there are many different defences and many uses. A royal palace, a mint, an armoury, an observatory. And it's famously known as being a place of execution, even though only 6 people were executed here. 2 of them being wives of Henry VIII, because only monarchs or people of a high rank were executed at the Tower. Everyone else had to make do with the nearby Tower Hill, which or Tower Green, if that's how we drive it. So there's our stop for the Tower of London, and it's also just up the point-to-point river cruise. That's included with your ticket, which you can get from Tower Pier, just around the corner.
Oh, you can go.
So here's our stop. The Tower of London.
You want to go now?
Singular ones at the minute, then you've got to eat together. 1, 2, 3. Room for 3. Room for 3. Unlike Rolf Harris's horse. They've got the Tower of London Festival that's been taking place over the last week. Got Jeff Beck here today. Dion Warwick. Festival. Couple more singular seats. Great fire in 1666. But he's right on the edge of the city. It's from the steeple of that church, where Samuel Pepys stood, and wet goods could be unloaded. Later became headquarters of the Customs and Excise Investigations Branch. And this next building coming up on the left is what used to be the Billingsgate Fish Market. It'll be here from the 1400s till the 70s, so 70s used to function. And we're about to see where the Great Fire of London started. Now keep looking. That's where we're going now. Piccadilly Circus, West End, the centre for entertainment. There's plenty to do around here. Theatres, restaurants, bars, cinemas. Somebody says they're going up west. That's what they need, the West End, which refers to Leicester Square, Piccadilly Circus and Soho. And someone's going uptown, that's the City of London, or the financial district. So that's Piccadilly Circus. So the word circus is Latin for circle, or roundabout in this case. And that's what Piccadilly Circus is. It's just a junction. It's a bit like Harrods. And it's where the royal family is from. And on the right is Lily White's. It's one of the largest sports stores in London. It's actually a purpose-built department store. About is Eros statue. Eros is the Greek god of love, but this is an M. It's the angel of Christian charity. Just what he uses for Eros. Dedicated to Lord Shaftesbury. We did not have house to oversee. Let's listen to him for a while. London's best known preacher. He used to stand at Oxford Circus till the police told him to go away. And he does this all day, every day. And he's got like a headset on there. I heard that he listens to a recording of another preacher and just repeats it all. And they recently interviewed him for the Metro, the free newspapers you get on the train. And apparently like Shania Twain, he's got all these catchphrases actually. I remember his, don't be a sinner, be a winner. He's called the Winners and Sinners Man. He's got his own t-shirts now. He's that famous. Now this road here, It's Coventry Street. We've got Leicester Square directly ahead where those trees are. And this road coming up on the left is Rupert Street. We've got Planet Hollywood. Down this road on the left is where you can get the blue route. The blue takes you towards Harrods and Kensington. The blue's finished. The last one's at 5:45. So yeah, still got a few to go yet. So here's our stop for Piccadilly Circus. And left.
Stonehenge. Out here in the countryside near Stonehenge, you see all these mounds. They're supposed to be like burial mounds, and they're all in a circle all around Stonehenge, various distances out. There's another one. As you look along, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. You can see these here. Yeah. You can see this channel that they cut in the ground all in a circle all the way around Stonehenge. See that was the original Stonehenge that was here, and then there was a wooden post and pillar kind of a Stonehenge here before the Stonehenge was here. Anyway, some more of those burial mounds way out there. Some more. Pass through here. Don't see too many right out here. Then you come along a little bit more. There's one behind that bunch of trees there. And you come over here. There's more of them. Anyway, they say they've excavated those and found them to be burial mounds. See, originally the Stonehenge had these big pillars with capstones all the way around in a semicircle. They've eroded away quite a bit, but originally they would have been shaped and fit. And then each one of the pillars has a stone pin on the top of it that have held the rocks in place, the stone caps in place. Inner circles and outer circles. Again, the stone. There's another one of those pins on top of the stone there. Some shaped stones in the middle.
know. I still think that even, I
It's supposed to be 9 miles of visibility all the way around the site. Very unique. There again, there's this kind of a moat, kind of a groove in the ground. Goes all the way around. And on the other side here, there it is again. So they're saying this is 5,000 years old or so. That groove in the ground probably was a little bit different shape when it was new. Stonehenge. Bath Abbey.
Good afternoon. I wonder if I could have your attention just for a moment or two. It's so good to see you here in the Abbey, and I hope you're enjoying it. We're very conscious here that this has been a place of prayer and pilgrimage on this site for over 1,000 years. That's very special to us. And therefore, on the hour, each hour, we ask our visitors if they would be kind enough just to be still, just for 2 minutes.
I think we'll change it for next one. People still on. I think it's just.
Thank you.
Get off your knees.
On the Queen's birthday, which was a few weeks ago, she has like a meet and greet. It's high security. She goes out and shakes hands up near where we was at the start there. Shakes hands with the general public, accepts flowers, and
So,
gives the odd kiss.
so when Diana died, was it Windsor where they piled the flowers, or was it Kensington? It was probably Kensington.
It was Kensington, yeah. I mean, the Queen and Diana towards the end weren't really getting on too well.
That's right.
The general public were very disappointed with the Queen's reaction to Diana's death. You probably remember that. Here's a horse and carriage now, look. It might be her, imagine.
Sure.
The first and only time.
Like,
to
Exactly.
Undercover, right?
Yeah.
I tell my friends that when you're coming, they were coming to England, it's fine.
Yeah. Oh,
Windsor, Castle. Steady myself on.
Start back in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
certainly is.
Every time show.
You're a muppet.
Was it Ethan? Oh, right.
pretty big deal. We're going in the staterooms.
Okay.
Oh, that's all the church. You're right, because this is just the gate.
represents kindness, and temperance.
Magari che andiamo alla fine.
No, no se ve nada.
Es mejor sacar afuera.
Sí, que más o menos cuando están cerrados. La luz es más solo de la tela. Y aparece cuando los tutores de... Nada.
Tiene platino, sale la mugre y que se lo quiten, o sea.
Que no,
Bueno,
que no, entiende que no, no se lo quitaste.
bueno, está bien.
No, no se ve. No, 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 no. Perdón, ¿cuál es el órgano? ¿Dónde está el órgano?
Está allá, no lo va a ver, está allá arriba.
Gracias.
On fait des vacances.
Toledo.
By graffiti, which was used that live there don't appreciate what we've got. These are
The
like
river.
that. I'm going over to that tree.
There. Looks like some kind of an old abbey or something.
Okay.
I don't know what that is. Some kind of lookout tower for something. Maybe there's a prison over there. Anyway, and there's the big academy. De Infanteria. Oh, that's got to be the Army Infantry Academy. Over here, some very old buildings. And here, the old original castle. If you look downhill from there, it's kind of a nice way they've done the river. Cascades. It looks like the old city wall goes along and across this bridge around that way. We saw that. Out that way, around the foundation of the castle. Okay. We're going to go look for the big cathedral now.
16th century.
Okay, and it's a palace.
But the ambitious project was never fully completed because the court was moved to Madrid in 1561, even though Philip II financed its completion.
That's it, yeah.
The construction went on to be used for a multitude of purposes as state prison, as a home for the poor, or as a military academy, and was burnt down and rebuilt on numerous occasions. During the Civil War, it was seized by the Republican Army and practically destroyed to the extent that very little remains of the former construction.
Okay.
Although the original plans have always been followed, so it still has the Renaissance appearance given by its first architects, but the materials.
So it's actually a...
gonna go leave it at his dad's river house, but luckily he's staying home.
So is this kind of like a